morning children. Today we are coming with a science lesson. I am Shailaja. This is rainbow lesson for class 2, things around us, living and non-living things. I am sure you have done living and non-living things children, which you have done in the first standard. You have learned the basics about living and non-living things. Yes? Yes. So what did you learn in the living and non-living things? You have differentiated what do the living things do and what do the non-living things. So we see a number of things like plants, animals, people around us. Some of them are living while others are non-living things. Animals, birds, insects, snakes, people and plants are all living things. A house, chair, pen, pencil, table, car, stone are all non-living things. So children, we are able to understand now this is a list of living things, this is a list of non-living things. So what are the characteristics of a living things? So what we are going to learn today is what exactly do they feel? Can you make out which is the living and which is the non-living? So first thing what we have to learn is living things can move. So all the living things can move. So we can see that they walk, they can feel. When you pinch them, when you hurt them, they get scared and they can feel it. They will react to this. Then living things can breathe. Just like you breathe, plants, animals, birds, everybody breathe air inside their body. Then they can take food also. So children, they can eat. So they need food. All the living things need food to eat. So they want some food, whether it is grass, whether it is small animals, whether it is food, grain, rice, whatever it is, all of them need food. Everybody grow. All the living things grow. So they are growing from small size to bigger size. You can see them. And they reproduce. So they give rise to new plant or new babies. This is how the animals will improve, become more. Small animals will grow into big animals, small plant will grow into big plant, a small baby can grow into a big person. So this is how they all have characteristics of the living things. They are living means they can move, feel, they can react, they can breathe, they can take food, they can grow and they can reproduce. So children, you have understood all these points. So let us talk about the first point. That is, living things can breathe. Yes, the most important thing that you are living means you are able to breathe. You are taking in air, taking out the air. So that means you are alive if you are able to breathe. So what we are learning here, animals and human beings, they all take in oxygen inside your body and they breathe out carbon dioxide. Animals breathe through their nose and they have lungs. Fish breathe through the gills. From the side of the fish, you will find some small thin lines called gills. The fish will breathe through the gills. It is like a nose for it in the water. We cannot stay alive without breathing. So we need to breathe even for a few minutes. So we cannot stay alive. We have to keep on breathing. Even when you are sleeping also you are breathing. Even when you work also you are breathing. See a sleeping dog. Have you seen a sleeping dog? The dog will be sleeping on the ground, but you can see the body rising up, going down, rising up, going down. Yes, the dog is breathing, correct. His chest will go up and down, which shows that it is breathing. The same is the case with the human being also. We also human beings. We take the air through the nose, it goes inside the body, goes into the lungs and then carbon dioxide comes out. Again oxygen inside, carbon dioxide. So children, breathing is very important for us to stay alive. The same way all living things breathe. So now we come across is the next point. Yes, living things take food and water. Every living things all the living things need food and water. When we feel hungry and thirsty, we take food and water. Yes, so many flies also sitting on the food. and they are eating it. So animals get their food from plants or smaller animals. So have you seen a cow will be eating grass and it will drink water, and big animals like the tiger, big lions, what will they do? They will hunt and catch small animal, they'll eat. But even they also go to the river or to the lake or pond, they'll go and drink water. So animals, big animals or small animals, they all need food and water. They are thirsty and they are hungry also. So all the animals will be eating food. Some animals eat only grass and leaves, like the cow. The cow will be eating only grass. Goat also, sheep also. They will eat only the grass, they will eat only the plants, they will drink water. This is their food. But there are some animals which will be eating other animals, like the tiger. Just now I told you. They kill and eat smaller animals. Some animals eat both animals and plants. So a bear, it can eat fish also from the sea, from the river it can take. It can eat honey and other small insects also. So it can live eating both plants also, and it can eat insects also, both. So that means it can eat meat and plants, both of them. Some animals like the crow also, you give food grains to it, it will eat. You give it small food also, plants, things to eat, fruits, it will eat that also. When you give it meat also, it will eat that also. So there are some animals which will eat only plants. There are some animals which eat only meat and other mutton things. And there are some animals which can eat both plants and meat. So this is a different variety of animals which they will be eating food also, and when they are thirsty they will drink water also. What do the green plants do? Now what did we understand about the green plants? We have understood that green plants are green in color. So what do they do basically? All the different green plants will make their own food. You think green plant, somebody is going to feed some food for it? No. The green plants are the only ones who make their own food with the help of water, air and sunlight. So they get the water from the ground, from the roots. They get the air from the surrounding area, and they get the sunlight from the sun. So these plants are very important. They make their own food. They don't take food from others. Like the cow will eat this plant, cow will eat the grass, tiger will eat small animals. But these plants will not eat any food. They make their own food. So they are the very important things on the earth. But there are some plants which are not green. These are green, so they can make their food. But there are some plants which are not green at all. That is called mushroom. Have you seen any mushroom? Yeah, correct. Like that, mushroom. It will be round like a house. This mushroom is white in structure. It is not having green part inside it. So these mushrooms cannot make their own food. Mold and mushrooms, they cannot make their own food. So what do? They also are living. They absorb the food from other decaying matter. So this will absorb the food from another decaying matter. Anything is dead here, the mushroom will be growing on this. So mushroom will not have any green thing inside, so it cannot make the food. But they take the food from dead things, dead and decaying matter, which is very rotten. After some time you have thrown the food, it is very rotten. You will see small umbrella like structures coming out. Yes, those are called mushrooms. So mold and mushroom. Even on the bread also, bread slice also, after it gets spoiled, you can see something fungus like thing form. That is mold. So these things are not able to grow on their own food. So they take the food from other spoiled things or rotten things. So they make their food from decaying matter. Next we will talk about is feel and react. Living things can feel and they can react. Animals have 5 sense organs: eyes, nose, skin, ears and tongue. They use all these organs to search for food and to sense the danger also. See, a cow is eating, it will eat grass and it will be eating. The same way a deer also, it will be also eating grass and plant. But it can sense danger. If they can feel lion or tiger is coming far away, it's come to hunt, they get a nice breeze of air, immediately the ears will become alert and they listen to the sound. Yes, a tiger is very close by, it is going to come and attack us and kill us. So they understand danger, they can feel the danger. So what do? They run away from there. They eat the grass and they run away. That's it. They won't wait for a very long time if they can feel a tiger or a lion is there hunting for them. So this is how they protect themselves when they sense danger. So sense organs are used for searching for food. They keep on searching for the food. At the same time, they learn to protect themselves. The sense organs help them to protect themselves from other enemies or bigger animals which will come to kill them. The smell of food is very important. So the smell of food attracts flies and ants also. So when you have certain food things there, what happens? Immediately small flies will come, ants also will start coming and trying to eat the food. Just like animals, human beings, they also have 5 sense organs. So even the small flies also can make out if food is there, they will come flying and they will start taking the food. The ants also make a line, they can make out the smell, they also have sense of smell. They come, take one food item and they will go away. So even the small insects like flies also and ants also can smell the food. It attracts them. They come, take the food away. Just like the other animals, plants, human beings, even the small things also can feel there is food there. So what else we learn? Just like all the humans and animals, everybody has some sense of smell, the living things like flies also. Although plants do not have specialized sense organs, even the plants which we find, they also don't have much sense organs, but they can feel. When we touch the leaves of the touch me not, what do? The leaves will close up, they will collapse for slowly. After a little while, they will again open. Again when you touch them, the leaves will close. So this is called a touch me not plant, which can feel. So you have understood the feeling of reaction and feeling, how the animals can feel. Even when you touch the animal with a small pin or something, it will go back. It can feel the pain, so it will go back. It is able to feel that it is going to be hurt. So animals, all the things also feel and react. Living things reproduce. So living things reproduce, that is the next point. What do the reproduce means? All animals and plants give birth to their own kind. This process is known as reproduction. Females, animals like the cow, cat, bitch and mare give birth to baby animals. Some animals like the frogs, lizards and birds reproduce by laying their eggs. So some animals are the same kind. They are born like that only, like the parent. Mother, father, how they are with the tail, legs, face, everything. And some animals will lay eggs, just like the lizard, the birds and the frogs. After the egg hatches, new bird will come out. This is how these animals will reproduce. That means the same kind of animals are born again. Plants will also reproduce. When the seeds will fall, new plants will grow. So same way, animals give birth to babies. Some animals give birth to eggs. So when they give the eggs will again grow. So how do the plants also grow? Just now when I said plants produce lot of seeds. So some plants grow from the seeds. So you can make out one seed will grow, from that a new plant will grow. Some plants can produce baby plants from their side also, from the buds also, from the stems also, from the leaves also. Small plants will start growing and new plants will grow from them. So there is another way the plant also can reproduce. Seeds, buds, stems or leaves. It can grow new plants from all these things also. Living things grow. This is what we have to understand now. Living things, yes. Just like from a small baby plant, it will grow into a big large plant till it will give you a lot of mangoes, apples, guavas. Yes, you have seen those plants. Same way, a small baby will grow into a big human being. A small puppy dog will grow into a big sized dog. A small chick will hatch from there, and the small chick will grow into a big sized hen or a cock. So this is how they grow. All living things grow. A baby grows to a boy, and a boy grows into a man. A kitten grows into a cat. A chick grows into a hen. A small caterpillar grows into a beautiful butterfly. A small lamb will grow into a sheep. So this is how they grow. All the living things grow. A seed grows, small seed grows into a big plant. Small plants grow into big trees. Growth begins, and growth brings changes in shape and size. So when the plant grows, it is very thin, having one stem. Then the stem will become big size. It will become a trunk. They will have lot of branches. There will be flowers. There will be fruits. So there will be lot of changes. So growth brings change in shape and the size of the plant also, of the human being or the plant. After growing up, some insects like the fly and the bee may not live for many days. That means the flies and the bees, they do lot of going around the flowers, but they die very soon. Just when they start growing up, they will die soon. Other animals will live for many years, say 30 years, 40 years, like that. When they become old, these animals or the human beings also, they all die one day. Yes, the dog also can live only for 14 to 15 years and the dogs will die. The cow also lives for maybe 10 years, 20 years, it will die. Plant also grows very big sometime, and sometime it might not get food, water, whatever it is, it might die. Human being also, they will become very old, they will also die one day. So all the living things can grow and they will all die one day. So we are understanding about the characteristics of the living things. Living things can move, they can feel and react, they can breathe, they can take food and water, they can grow and they can reproduce. And one day they will all die. So children, you have learned about all these things about living things. Now let us start about non-living things, which is not living. This is called non-living things. Non-living things do not have a life. That means this is a non-living things. It is a non-living thing. It cannot grow. It cannot eat. You understood the points? They cannot move on their own. Non-living things like the pencil, they do not need air to breathe in or they do not need food to eat. They can neither feel, see, they can neither reproduce their own kind. So they cannot feel, they cannot reproduce, they cannot move, they do not need air to breathe, they cannot eat food also. So this is called a non-living thing. Have you seen a stone, small type of stone, eating food or drinking water? No. Have you seen a chair moving on its own? No. Chair is there only, unless you pick it up and move, it is not going to move. So chair also cannot move on its own. Have you ever seen your shoes dying? You have shoes every day you will be wearing to the school. Do you see that it is going to die one day? No, they won't die. They will break and they will tear, but they will not die. So no, shoes also don't die. Have you seen a football breathing? Around football you play and kick it. Do you see it breathing? No. Have you ever seen your clothes crying? Any type of clothes crying and breathing also, or weeping in pain when your mother washes them? Do you think they will cry and they will weep a lot when your mother is washing the clothes and squeezing them? No, correct. All these are non-living things. So now we are talking about man-made things and natural things. What is man-made things? All non-living things are man-made. See, this is a pencil which is made by man. It was not born like this. So this is called man-made things. So there is this pen. This is also man-made things. So what is happening? We are learning now man-made things and natural things. Things like the computer, books, pencils, house, pens, anything. They are all made by man. So they are called man-made non-living things. Now things like soil. You have seen soil, powder, soil, sand. So things like soil, sun, water, and air all exist in nature. They are called natural non-living things because they are there already in nature. When nature was born, the sun is there, the soil is there, the water is there, the air is there. This is part of nature. So they are called natural non-living things. So children, you have understood the difference between man-made things and natural things. Man-made means they can be made in a factory. This is made by a man. So they are called man-made non-living things. And sun, soil, moon, air, water, all these exist in nature. So they are called natural non-living things. Now let us understand the whole lesson today, what we have done. Children, go through the lesson again, see the different pictures, get the different names of living and non-living things, write them down, and then understand the main points of the lessons. The animals and the plants are living things. All the living things can move, feel, react, breathe, eat, grow and reproduce. Non-living things do not have all the characteristics of the living things. So children, you have understood the whole lesson in these 3 points. All living things need air, water and sunlight to survive and grow. So you have understood this point also, and so many things about living and the non-living things. All the living things, what happens here, the non-living things cannot do. The non-living thing cannot move, they cannot feel, they cannot react, they cannot breathe, cannot take food and water, they cannot grow, they cannot reproduce. So non-living things cannot do all these things. You have understood the difference between both the things, children? Because now after this whole thing is over, you should be able to answer all the questions about this lesson. Go through the lesson again, see the pictures again, get the idea and understand what is living, what is non-living things, and answer the questions at the end of the lesson. You can do some other experiment also and see other pictures also to understand this lesson. Thank you.